Tell somebody, mind your business. Look at somebody and say, mind your business. And leave my business alone.
Hello. Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Mind Your Business Monday. I am your host, Travis.
And I'm Arletha.
And as always, guys, Mind Your Business Monday is brought to you by On Point Alliance. Here at On Point Alliance, we provide a diversified scope of services with fingerprinting and background screening being our primary service. To learn more about that, just scan the barcode at the top of the screen, or you can visit us at www.onpointalliance.com.
All right, guys, we want you to get ready to tackle this week like a boss. Here with us on Mind Your Business Monday, your compass for entrepreneurial growth. We want you to level up your skills by learning from entrepreneurs who have walked in your shoes and want to share their wisdom in both personal and professional leadership development. So regardless if you're just starting out or already in the game, this is your compass towards success. So if you like how that sounds, scan that barcode, go follow us on all of our social media platforms, and do not forget to click the notification bell.
Good deal.
All right.
I want to thank y'all in advance, those who have been sharing, those who have been subscribing. We appreciate it. We're still trying to build those numbers up over on YouTube. So we thank you in advance, and we're going to continue to ask that you guys would do that to help push us. I'm so excited about tonight. We're waiting on this information. Waiting on this. Y'all know we really get excited when we can bring people on who can share information that's to better us as a people, help you, as Arletha said, level up as a boss. You understand what I'm saying? So we get excited when we bring our guests on. So you guys are in for a treat on tonight. But I was going to ask her how was her day. Arletha, she been geeked all day.
This whole day.
All day. I talked to her that she was like, I wish I can share some of my excitement on the inside of me with you. Like, I wish you could feel what I was like.
It was so much. I'm like, just a communion size cup to bless your life. Listen, I done had credit conversations today in order. Check. Okay. I done had a humongous opportunity come up. Check. And now we're gonna talk money. All right, because I gotta be able to count them coins properly. James is gonna help us do that on tonight. We're gonna
get it together. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and take care of these announcements real quick. And go ahead, Arletha.
So if you're looking to get into business, you don't really know what to do, but you have a low budget. So you need something that's low cost, low startup cost, that's flexible, self-paced. Think about a fingerprinting business is in demand right now. If you Google fingerprints near me, I guarantee you there's a limited number of places that you can go. That lets you know the demand for this particular service. So regardless if you're in, you got a notary business, or if you have in the trucking industry, if you're in insurance, this is a service that you're either sending your applicants to that we could train and certify somebody in-house that you don't have to pay for those anymore. Or if you're just trying to get into something starting from scratch, we can get you trained and certified to be a fingerprinting provider. You'll be able to provide fingerprints on behalf of the FBI. So scan that barcode at the top of the screen to learn more about our programs. And we'll love to talk to you, as well as we have financing options.
Today. All right. So we have taken care of that.
Yes.
And now it's time to get this road on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my way of
my
saying
hair is literally standing up on my arms.
Like, you been stuck on your arms all day.
Listen, like they just did a whole nother, like for real. Yeah.
All right, so tonight our guest is Mr. James Morris from Landlord Chronicles, Morris Management LLC, and he's going to dive into the world of financial literacy and generational wealth. James will share his expert insight on financing your first investment property, including programs with low or zero down payment options, okay? Plus, we'll explore effective strategies for teaching financial literacy to children and young adults and uncover common financial pitfalls and how to avoid them. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome to the show Mr. James Morris.
Woo! Welcome. Right, y'all. Look.
I got something. Listen to this. Where is that?
Where that?
Where you go?
Look.
Hold on. I'm coming up. Mama, I'm coming up.
Y'all are too kind.
Welcome. This the money man. You got a new name, the money man.
Oh
We're so glad to have you on here, man.
Man,
listen,
thank you for the invite.
We know that you do a lot. What we like to do is we like to have our guests just go ahead, instead of us reading a bio on you. We got the real deal here. We just let you introduce yourself to the audience, tell them a little bit, and then we're going to jump into our questions.
Y'all got to go to the website because this dude do everything. Anything money he do. So he just give you a snippet.
Thank you, Rissa.
All right.
Go ahead, James.
I'm James Morris, born and raised in Chicago, and I was blessed to grow up in a large family. And by large family, I have 25 uncles and aunts. My mom was one of 13, and my dad was one of 14. Now, what I learned from my uncle, they all migrated from Mississippi, came up in Chicago. My first uncle bought his first investment property at the age of 21, and it was a 3-flat. And he just didn't use his first, purchase for a single family home. He was always thinking about the family. So my mom lived on the 3rd floor. His sister lived in the lower level. He lived on the 1st floor, and he had a tenant on the 2nd floor. So at the young age, I was able to kind of see the power of real estate, and from how he purchased one property, which paid for his second house, and another property, which bought his car wash, his restaurant, his hair salon, and his clothing store. So for me, finances always made sense, and it was always not to work for the dollar, but to have the dollar work for you. So that is how I got so invested and interested in just purchasing property and teaching people about financial literacy, because he made a point to say, I only have a high school education. And if I'm able to be a millionaire, there's absolutely no reason why you can't be one too.
Come on, I love it. I straight love it.
Yeah.
Period. That's the mic drop. Look, okay.
Say we can go home, but we not. Because we're gonna go ahead and dive into some of these questions now. You ready to roll?
Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
Okay, so question number 1, Sir James, what are some strategies for financing your first investment property, including programs with the low or zero down payment options?
Man, so I'm gonna touch on those, and I'll start with a story. When I purchased my first investment property, I went through Wells Fargo Bank. They had a first-time home buyer grant, and that grant at the time was only $3,000. Today, you have grants from $3,000 up to $20,000 for first-time home buyers. Now you have, and this is with any bank. You can just go there and say, hey, tell me about your first-time home buyer program. And the thought is that the government really wants to stimulate the economy. And you stimulate the economy by purchasing homes, because think about all the interest that you're paying on the home, right? But then the reason why I love investment properties is you're going to pay a mortgage, or you're going to pay rent to live somewhere. Everyone is in real estate. You're paying rent, or you're paying a mortgage. But the beauty about an investment property is you have that same home, but what if someone else is paying that mortgage for you, or funding that lifestyle that you want to have? So I like to say your first-time home buyer grant can buy you a single family home up to a 4-unit. Why not go big and get the 4-unit, right? And live in 1 unit, and that's what we call house hacking, and have 3 others to either pay the mortgage, taxes, and insurance, or take care of some of your debt, right? So there is a national program, the NACA program, and this is why when people ask me about real estate, I said there is absolutely no reason why you don't own something. Because here you have the NACA program, which is NACA.com, to number one, where it's a no money down program. Okay. It's not based on your credit score. You don't have to pay attorney fees. You don't have to pay any closing costs. Right? At that point, what is stopping you from purchasing a property? They only require you to go through their home buyer program, and that program is going to teach you about the financial literacy and how to manage a property, right? So that is the most popular program out there. The interest rate is going to be the best, better than any other bank can offer, because it's backed by the federal government.
Wow. And this is, now, help me understand, this is specifically targeted towards first-time home buyers?
Yes, it is for first-time home buyers.
Shut up, keep talking.
Now, do they have to buy a property that's already there, or can you get a house built with this program?
So that program is going to be one that is existing.
Okay.
If you want to, there are first-time home buyer programs for new construction loans. Okay. If that's something that you want to get into, that's very costly, and I probably wouldn't advise it for a first-time home buyer if you're trying to buy an investment property. Right. Now, because you can build a house, and the construction costs are very expensive, but it would cost you a lot to build a 4-unit or a 3-unit, right? Now you can find something and possibly you can rehab it, and we call those first-time home buyer 203K loans, but you have to live in it. And there's nothing wrong with living in the property, right?
Right.
The goal is to get that first property, and that first property is going to take care of you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's thinking, and that down at the alley or the lane of thinking first time, not just first time home owner, but first time investment property.
And now that's something your services offer. You teach people how to do exactly what you're explaining right now, correct?
I do. I teach people from A to Z. I also have some people who have investment properties but don't have a system in place to how you can manage it from afar and still be efficient. But then also understanding the laws, which will protect yourself from frivolous lawsuits, and learning how to screen tenants so you're not taken advantage of. And it is more so, we will go to school and we will get this bachelor's degree. I expect the same thing if you buy a real estate property. Like, I expect you to be in school, educating yourself and getting you a bachelor's in investments, in investment property. You know, because I'm constantly learning as the laws are changing, and as you have squatters who try to be slick. You have to understand like how to screen a person. If you can't do it, that doesn't mean that you can't buy a property. You just may want to hire a property management company to run for you, right?
Yes.
So now I heard you. Now, did I hear correctly? This program, the NACA, right? NACA.com. This program is it or is it not credit driven?
It is not credit driven either.
Wow, how come we never heard of
So
this?
you just got to get in there and mind your business. Do what these people say, complete the program, and implement. Like you said, there's no reason you don't own a property with resources like this out there. And see, what I love about your services is, as we know, social media got everybody on here telling you all you got to do is click your heels, go run around your parking lot, and then go to this place, and you'll get 5 properties for $3. You know, it's like all of this stuff out there, and they selling. I've made $1 million on real estate, but see, they're not talking about compliance. They're not talking about, just with even how they presented it makes me leery on some of even the information. I want to know what you even got to talk about, right? So you guys Go to his website, set up your consultation, connect with him if this is something that you know you're in the process of doing. But I would like to pose this before we go to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who has been laying low,
Mhm.
reestablishing themselves, and they want to start thinking about approaching this opportunity, or just get into this anywhere, but they feel overwhelmed, or they feel like they have a bunch of misconceptions. What would you say to those people?
You know what? I work with some people and they were like, hey, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I said, what are you getting ready for? Right? What are you getting ready for? Like, what's your dream? What's your vision? I want to buy a property. Okay, so you want to buy a property when? Next year? Okay, cool. Next year. Well, you don't just wake up on December 31st and be like, hey, I found a property. I'm going to buy a property. I got it next year.
Right.
It's going to take you 6 to 9 months to find the right property. You can go out and buy any junk property, and overpay for it. Like I have a person I'm working with, and he was on a contract on one property, the inspection didn't go well, they canceled it. All right. He bid it on another property and got outbidded. Right. He wanted to go see another property and it was on the contract. He bid it on a property and they countered his offer. He was thinking about it too long and they accepted someone else's. So now it's probably been about 6 months of him seeing properties he want to buy. He like it. He has an 800 credit score. He has the down payment. He has the earnest money, but you still can't get the property. So why don't you prepare yourself now?
Right.
So even if it is educating yourself about what does it take to become a landlord, or what is a good property, or start building your team. Like find your realtor, find your attorney, find your inspector, find your contractors, find what areas you want to live in. That doesn't cost you anything.
Right. I like the part of so many people listening to this. If you're thinking about, like you said, you're whether you're renting or you're thinking about, I want to buy. There's so many people who have bought homes.
Let me see your notes.
First time home buyers as well. So many people have bought homes, and then it's like, y'all, I bought this house and I hated I bought this house because now that I got the house and this and that and going on or whatever. But the thing about it is changing the mindset of, you don't just want to buy a house. Why just buy a house when you can buy a investment property? You only need so much space. Live in that space and let the other people, like you said, do your due diligence though, not your cousin them.
Right.
But do your due diligence and getting some people in there that's going to pay their rent and pay the mortgage and invest in yourself, invest in you to be able to buy other properties. That's like,
excuse me, you're like, so what is it, Velvet? But
oh, ashy throat.
I know. But as he said, running background checks, that is a service On Point Alliance does. If you go to our website, onpointalliance.com, we do tenant background screening checks. So go there, you'll see it as a name check. It's through TransUnion. It would be the credit bureau that can run a background check for tenant purposes. So that was good.
I know we like him too, Rissa. That's why he's on here tonight.
Oh yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
You don't have to just need Carissa. We got his information up there. It ain't reach out, find out what it is. Now, this is another question. It doesn't matter where a person is in the States. You can work with anybody anywhere.
The NACA program is federal, so it's in all states, and you can work with a lender. If it's free money, then it really just doesn't make any sense. And you can still have that house. You can just buy that investment property, living in it for a couple of years, and think about it. You didn't use the down payment, so now you may have your money, and you can move it over on your home. Like if you don't have to pay closing costs, well, that's 3% of whatever purchasing price you were going to get. So if we're talking about a $300,000 home, well, you saved yourself $9,000 just by going through that program. right?
Right.
You know, it just really doesn't even make sense. Now, there are some people who don't want to be homeowners, and some people may not want to be landlords. But I will tell you about a property where I purchased in 2002. It was a 4-unit for $180,000. I still have that property today. That property, the appraiser say is worth about, I think when I tapped it for equity a couple of years ago, they said it was worth $355,000. There are some properties in that surrounding area that's selling for about $450,000. If I want to sell, I can sell, but I also look at that property also makes about $5,200 a month. So it's about $60,000 a year. Now, say like if I had a person that's been living there for since 2002, 22 years, and just say on average, we're not even going to say what the true rent is. The true rent today is like $1,100, but just say an average of $700 a month. All right, you just do 7 times 12, 9,800. You multiply that by 26, and you have about $200,000 that one person paid you.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I say I have 4 units there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. Like that one property can change the whole trajectory of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if you had 2?
Come
Right.
on.
That part. But you can't get to 2 until you start with 1.
You gotta start with 1. It just takes 1 property, but you can rent. And it's nothing wrong with people that rent it, but I had a lady pay me over $200,000 in rent. One lady.
Listen.
I only paid $390,000 for that one property. She paid $200,000.
You see why I call him Money Man? Because the way he explained it, like Susie had 2 apples, Johnny had 1 apple. It's that simple, all right? So what we were trying to find out is your service. So let's say somebody live in St. Louis. Let's say somebody live in New Jersey. Does your services coach them in connecting with someone in their, putting together a strategy in their state?
Thank you. That is what I was asking.
It is. I work with people as far as Boston, going to the east, and as far as California. So when you think about lenders, most lenders can lend nationwide in 50 states, right? It's a guaranteed rate. It's a Bank of America, it's a Wells Fargo, it's a Chase on every corner.
This is true.
You just walk in. Now, an attorney is only licensed in that state, but the NACA program have their own attorneys and real estate attorneys that you want to use, not just a family attorney, not a friend attorney. Realtors are everywhere, but sometimes realtors are kind of going away because the laws are changing, right? Mm-hmm. But you can have a realtor app and you can see what's listed, search your own area, and you have your pre-approval from your lender or from the NACA program, and just set up an appointment to go look at that property, right? But you have to understand, like you have to run the numbers, right? Because some people are like, oh, I want to buy this property. I really love it. I said, do you love the property or do you love the math? Because we're talking about investment property, I don't really care. Like where it's located. I'm asking you about the numbers. You know?
Do you have a t-shirt that say that? If not, you need one. Do you love the property or do you love the math?
All right.
You know, so even like my contractors would be like, hey, boss, like what color you want the paint to be? I said, man, repost gray. What color gray is that? I said, look, you focusing on too much. Put whatever color you want up there. Whichever one is going to get me more money. Like, okay, is white going to give me more money than repost gray? No. Man, just put the paint on the wall and let's get it going. Like you focus on the emotions. Like I'm focused on the numbers, right?
So James.
Look how serious his face done got.
I know it. Like,
right.
Come on, man.
That's
You're
a numbers.
on the wrong thing, man.
You have to understand, like today it's the first of the month. So this is like Christmas.
It's the first of the month.
Right.
I knew you were gonna say that because I felt it in my spirit, but I ain't gonna do it.
Woo, listen, I told y'all didn't believe me. I said, buckle up, get your kids, give your cat, your dog, take notes.
Sit down somewhere.
Right.
Well, listen, this is getting good.
Yes.
Well, right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pause so we can hear from our sponsors so we can keep coming back. And then we'll be right back with more information from Sir James. We're going to go deeper into this thing, y'all. We shall be right back.
Hi, my name is Arletha and I am the CEO and president of On Point Alliance, where we help our clients maintain the integrity of their identity through fingerprinting and background screening services. We offer a diversified scope of services covering everything from personal review, pre and post employment. So, regardless if you need background screening for a power of attorney, a certification or licensing in another state, or if you're a business owner looking to screen new applicants or monitor the criminal record of your current employees, we've got you covered. We have established our reputation by earning our clients' trust through delivering accuracy and efficiency. We would love to be your preferred fingerprinting provider. To learn more about how our services can be your solution,
you're going to eventually run out, because I know I'm buying the first thing. And when you come around that Go, ball ticket's right there. It's cheap, but it's going to be rent. And before you know it, by the time you come around there 2-3 times, you're going to see hotels on there because it's so cheap, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't go around life with just one income. It's almost like having like zero income. COVID will take you out and you'd be like, I had a good job. They laid me off.
Yep.
Right. Come on.
You know, I had some debt, but hey, if I have debt, you know what? I don't have to go to the bank. I can just go to a property and be like, hey, I took care of you. Time for you to take care of me.
Yep.
You can do that with a house. You can't do that if you're paying rent. Right. So once we start teaching young people, it's like my uncle told me, and he must have had this great vision, because I was 17 with no job, high school, about to graduate from high school, on my way to college, looking for some words of wisdom. And he was just like, man, like I was in his car wash. He said, if you're not a millionaire by the time you're 35, you never wanted to be one.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm like, I got it. I got it. Because he's like, you're supposed to be the smart one. You going to college. I had a high school education. I drove for UPS. I'm from Mississippi. So don't tell me like, he's like, don't tell me about hard work. I pick cotton. What you pick? He's like, I was out in the fields. Where were you? On the air conditioner? Okay.
Wow.
All right. So when we were washing cars, like, hey, we were washing cars. This was before the touchless cars, but that's some work. Your arms get tired, you feel the heat, but in your head, I drove every car that came through the car wash. So I was never like impressed by cars. So when the weekend came, he would be like, hey, what kind of car you want to take? I was like, I'm gonna take the 61 Buick. He said, oh, I'm gonna take the S550. Or I'm gonna take your Acura. So I drove every car at 17, so I was never chasing cars.
See, that was good.
You know? So that's that exposure, right? I saw $10,000 Saturdays. This was in the 80s. So I saw cash and I was just like, okay. All right. So I saw the big homes. You know, where my uncle lives, he lives in Monee. Like these guys they have the hangars on their homes. They have planes. They fly into their home and they get out. So that's the exposure. So now it's just like, hey, I can dream big. I can dream big, but I saw it. So you have to expose your children to it. You can't just stay in this silo and just say, I'm going to live check to check.
Right.
You know, that's what you're exposing them to. They're going to do the same thing. If you're in debt, they're going to be in debt. It was good for you, Mom. Why am I any different? But if I'm telling my children, like, hey, I'm doing this, but I expect you to be better than me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, you have to be better than me. And if you're not, I failed somewhere.
Right. You know, I'm really digging this. You didn't talk on the children, and just thinking about ways you go back thinking about how your uncle was instilling things in you, making you think. But there seems to be a pull towards the children, because you've done some other things that we're gonna talk about real quickly. There he is.
Yes.
He's done some children books. What was the inspiration, man, for this?
Man, so the first one was the trip to the building, because I had twin boys, and it was giving them the blueprint of, hey, this is your property. So let me teach you about how to make repairs. The most annoying thing for me as a man that doesn't know the difference between a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver. Like how do you not know this? All right. So then it was like collecting rent. And in the end, it was like you now have a business. So if anything happened to me, you have a book that you can get out there and sell. This book will get you into schools to do book reads, and they will order those books for you from you.
Wow.
Right. So taking them to their first property, right? And then the other book was my daughter at the time, she's 9, she was in a dual language program.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in a dual language program in the area we live in, there aren't many African American children. So I go to the classroom, I look around, I said, there is not a book in here that resembles my daughter. You know, hey, she probably don't speak Spanish at the time, but she needs to see herself in a book. And I said, all right. I know what I'm gonna do. I am going to write your own book, and you're gonna keep it in your backpack. And I'm gonna make sure that your name is on the book. That's actually her second book, but I'm gonna make sure your name is on the book. So now when it's book read or when it's show and tell, you pull out your book. And most of the kids would be like, hey, is it true? It's an absolutely true story.
Wow.
I love it.
And they can get it from your website,
Yes.
www.jamesmorrisjr.com.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Listen,
Wow.
I'm loving it. Go
want
ahead.
to make sure they had a business, right? So now they have a business, because I'm more of the, hey, I'm not big on excuses. Like I just told my son, because we were practicing pitching, and he's out in the yard, and my other son is catching. You know, he's like, hey man, when are you gonna throw a strike? Like, and I said, hey, that's a valid question. When are you gonna throw a strike? You threw the first pitch. What happened? It was high. Okay, why was it high? What'd you release? What's your leg kick look like? What's the mechanics? Life is about making an adjustment. Make the adjustment. He said, oh, I was trying to throw a different pitch. Like, you trying to master something, master the fastball. Like, you want to have 4 pitches, you ain't mastered 1.
Wow.
That's why I don't like jack of all trades. Like, you trying to do all these other things, just do the one thing and just do that well. Yeah. And you'll be successful. Just throw strikes, right? Wow. Let's not try to look pretty. Let's just throw strikes.
Wow. Man, did you hear what he's saying? Everything that you just said is what we've been on this whole year. So we have a framework called PASS. That's PASS. Prepare the idea, put it all together, act, implement it, study, look at it, assess it, what worked, what didn't work. Do you need to get rid of it altogether? Do you need to add something? Because sometimes as small business owners, we have this idea that is our golden ticket and it has to work. And if it don't work, oh, there we go in a hole and we done went into depression. And now we making stupid agreements and dumb decisions and put ourselves in a worse situation. So you got to study it and allocate the opportunity for it not to work, and then shift. Make those adjustments, just like you were saying to your son. Okay, how were your legs? What do you need to do different? How you going to reposition this? And guess what? You're back to square one. Start over. Now you prepared again, and you go again. With that, a past approach, you never fail. And you're not measuring yourself by what somebody else got. Look, it's like one of the young lady that's been talking on here. Your kids, she can't measure her kids by your kids. If they didn't start at the same place. Right. Yep, we all Black. Everybody's smart, everybody getting good grades, but they did not start at the same spot. You see what I'm saying? So you have afforded opportunity that even though a parent may not know how because they were not exposed to this conversation, you got books that they can purchase and gift their kids. Instead of going to McDonald's, go buy the book. Right. Gift your kid this, give them a running start, and then you can learn. And then on top of learning and reading these books, then you go and sign up for your consultation with James to get your life together. See, he didn't took all the excuses out of it that you're not more in tune financially by the time you log off of this live. And for those who want to get the book, James, you got a special offer for them.
Right, definitely. I'm selling the books for 50% off. It's more about just getting the information out there. And once you are exposed to it, and once you understand how simple it is, it's really not that difficult. And my uncle always said, like, everything you do in life, if you don't bring someone with you, it wasn't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm sitting there thinking, talking about investments, talking about children, thinking, hearing what you're saying as far with your uncle, thinking about some things that my dad shared with me, thinking about things that you're doing now for your children. And I'm excited on one hand because so I look around now, especially we as Black people, there's so many of us that are becoming successful. But at the same time, you think about those who do not look at their children as investments. You know what I mean? It's like you bring it, this child is coming to the world and you don't look at it. You don't see those children as investments that you're putting something in. It's easy to especially years ago, it was easy to mess up your child's name before they was old enough to know it. You know, when they get older, they go to get their lights on. It's like, well, you got a bill in your name. I never had nowhere to live. But you know, that's what would happen is the parents, because they were doing what they had to do to try to make it, and they were using the baby's names to do it. And I'm sure they still doing it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But just that the whole thing of you all are hearing this on tonight, that is, if you have little children and you sit, they may be in a room somewhere, one of them may be sitting across from you now. Look at that baby and see that this is an investment. You want to invest into this child. That it's easy as a parent can mess this baby's name up before they're old enough to even start building any credit on their own. It's just as easy to start building and investing into that child.
And get your eyes off of street cred and get your eyes on their credit, TransUnion, Equifax, because all them Jordans they got, to be able to go to school to say they got a PS5 that you paying a firm on and paying $1,000 for that same $5.99 game. You investing.
Yep.
You investing. I give my kids every day. I look regular. I wear Walmart clothes and my kids gonna wear some J. You investing, sis, bruh. Right. So what James is saying, let's reallocate those funds. Okay.
Right. And I'll tell you something I did with the kids was, at the time they were into the Beyblades. And I said, hey, you know what? Like, you guys always want these Beyblades. I gave a project. I said, why don't you look and see who's the maker of the Beyblades? And they researched it, and it's Hasbro. And I was like, okay, Hasbro. Before you buy Beyblades, you buy some shares of Hasbro. So every time you buy Beyblades, you buy some shares of there. Because now you can say you're an owner of what you enjoy doing.
Wow.
I love it.
You know? And start digging a little bit more for the hip hop fans. Like, Hasbro actually owns Death Row Records. I was just like surprised by that too. But
yeah, that's news to me.
You know, I was just like, wow. But if you make it like that, then it becomes it's a game to them.
And it's fun.
It's reality. It's reality. Right. Some people are like, well, I can't afford like mutual funds or stock shares. I said, there are apps out there where you can invest with as little as $5. Stash.com. It's fractional shares. You might not own a whole share, but you own a fraction of it. And if you just put it on automatic and just send $10, right? Depending on what you're investing in, I drive a Ford truck, so I bought shares of Ford. I got Ford when it was $6. Ford went up to $20, right? So if I was just doing $10 a week, then I had 4 shares. And now that $24, it goes to $80, right? Mm-hmm. If you keep doing that over the whole time, 20, 30 years, you know, maybe you have $50,000 or $100,000, depending on what you invest in. We got to get into that mindset, even with the retirement accounts. Like they're saying, and I've seen it where people, they're waiting on Social Security. Like, hey, I'm going to work till I'm 72, and then I'm going to draw down my Social Security, and that Social Security is going to take care of me. Well, Social Security is taxed. And you're going to work till you're 72, but we know the average lifespan is 75.
Yeah.
You're gonna just enjoy 3 years,
right? And then go on.
That's a big gamble, right?
There really is.
So I know my dad had a heart attack at 51 years old. He never made it to the 70. He never retired, right? So I'm not gonna delay gratification for my children. I say, look, if I'm 48, I got 3 years, right? In my head, I got to make sure all of this stuff is in order. These books got to go. You got to understand financial literacy. You got to know how to run these investment properties. I had them inputting stuff in the spreadsheet. I said, I'm gonna pay you $20 an hour. I hire you. I got some papers right here. You guys need to shred this, right? We can go over here. We can clean the hallways at the property. I can get a trailer. I can start, I got a lawnmower. You just ride. You don't even have to push it. How easy is that? You put your headphones on and you just ride around and you cut grass. Like, why wouldn't I pay you $55 a cut?
This is true.
So don't tell me like why a kid can't earn $3,000 to $5,000 a year. It's kids out here who, after the snowfall, they go around and, hey, you need somebody to pick out the poop out the yard?
They sure do.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna walk your dog. I'm gonna wash your kid. I'm gonna wash your car. I'm gonna clean your windows. I'm gonna power. Why you can't get out there and do that?
You know what you're doing at it. I think this is a perfect time to get this last question in. But and I was thinking about it for what are the most common financial mistakes people make when trying to improve their financial literacy, and how can they avoid them?
The most common financial mistakes. Number one, not understanding the cost to be them. So if I say, what does it cost to be you? Like, what does it cost? Your life, what does it cost? Right? How much do you make? How much do you spend? Oh, this is too much. All right, let's think about it just today. How much did you spend today? Did you get coffee? Did you go to Starbucks? Did you take your lunch to work? Did you eat out? Like, if you wrote down what you spent on a given day, like, could you have shaved some of that back? Could you have saved some money there? Right? So I think a lot of people, they try to hit home runs. Like, oh, I see Instagram, I want this big house, I want it today. And as I tell my sons, hey, singles win games. It's just being consistent, singles.
Right.
You swinging for the fences, I guarantee you're going to strike out. That's why you have a lot of strikeouts. You swinging for the fences. All I need is like a little single. And we move around. Hey, that's a goal. And we get to first base. Now we're on first. We may steal second. They may hit us a second. Okay, we halfway there. We get to third. We get home. We got one. Let's do it again. Right. But then that's what, like, when we talk about multiple streams of income investment properties, just think of it as at bats. I have more at bats than you. I can strike out over here, but I know I get the bat again over here because my investment property is here.
Right.
I can strike out on an investment property, but I got this other business over here. Now, if you strike out, you done. Like, you going home with your bat and ball. I'm still in the game.
Wow. That's a good time to do that, Travis.
I am definitely going to bring it up.
So for our viewers on tonight, he has a second goodie for you guys. Tell them about this freebie that you have.
So this one here is just how to purchase your first investment property. And as I mentioned, like, it's so easy. If I say here's an ebook and I say here's a NACA program, and you put those two together, and what's the problem now, right? And if we know you need some more income, I just ran off a list of things that a person can do. I don't care if you're cleaning homes. Like, I have a friend who has a mobile car wash, and he comes to your house and he washes the car in his driveway, right? It's just ways. Like, we just have to be creative. So we have to think about what is our gift. And your gift is, man, what comes easy to you that's difficult to someone else, or that someone else doesn't want to do, right? And then can you monetize on your gift, right?
Right.
Like, you can, we all have gifts.
Right.
Just gotta figure out.
Somebody scanned the barcode. Yeah, get your life together. Okay.
Get your life.
Listen, this last question, and just with what you explained and just everything that you said tonight, kind of got me a little bit emotional, because I had my first business. I was 7, and my dad. My mom has four kids and 3 by my dad, but all of my mom's children are entrepreneurial, spirited people. And my dad had other children, they got different mamas, but when I met them, we all the same, like they entrepreneurs. So we know where we got that from. And with my mom, you know, she did the best she could. And so she'll have to go get food. Sometimes it's food we didn't want to eat. So me and my oldest brother, we would take that food, go turn like the non-perishable items, the popcorn, the donuts. We'll go and make something and go sell it to the kids. So then we can go get some church's chicken or some Chinaman or whatever we wanted to eat at the time. And I remember my friends and some of my cousins, they want to play house. I was playing bank. I was playing store, right? And so there's my mind has always been organizing talent shows, organizing whatever. If we outside playing hide and go seek, I done organized teams, and we got non-laters. Those are power pillars, and then you get the red ones. My brain just always been made that way. Can you imagine having the parent that had the knowledge? Because my daddy knew how to make money. He was a gangster. He knew how to make money, but he wasn't understanding money.
Right.
So I saw the hustle. I saw the work ethic, because my daddy had some work ethic. Okay, but it was on the other side of things, you know. Lord rest his soul. Yeah. But it was on the other side of things. So I definitely got that grit, that hustle, that tenacity, that fight. You know, everything that I am. My mama don't play games, but it's just certain things they didn't know. And so it blesses my heart that your kids at young ages got properties and books and being taught. There's a learning opportunity.
Right.
I don't care if we out here cutting grass, you finna learn something. So I just commend you for being just the man that you are, being receptive to what your family instilled in you, and then coming on the show. If anybody is like me, who is full of it all and ready to go like a racehorse, ready to come out the gate, it's not too late, because now we got his website. We got his contact information, okay? And we got some kids' books to get, and we got a freebie to go and couple together. We got a NACA.com to connect with and go ask some questions. So we're a little taller on today. We done grew some inches on today. Okay. And guess what? It's not too late. And just with the help of the Lord to get us what, because God ain't governed by time. He knows the dynamics of all of our lives, what he instilled in us, and it's just a matter of an opportunity like today, connecting with James to bring everything. And you know those friends that you don't talk to every day, but you ain't talked to them for years, but then when you do, it's as if you've been talking every day. The way the Lord does things, it'll be like you didn't miss a beat, because I know, baby, my life finna catch up with what's already been established in the spirit. Things in the natural is catching up, okay? So I want to encourage everybody on tonight. This was intentional. This was purposeful. When I invited James on, he did not hesitate to accept our invitation. And just the passion that y'all hearing on tonight is the same passion when he found out exactly what we do, what this show is about, and to come on and how can he pour into you. So James, we thank you on tonight. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your kids. I'm excited for your wife. I'm just excited for y'all. And I'm excited for us, honey, because it's a whole nother situation.
That's the excitement she want to give me.
Game changer. All right.
Listen, and go ahead and be our guest. We would love to have you on the show. And again, Sir James, listen, it's so I'm listening to you. First of all, I'm a preacher, so I know when somebody's using restraint. Okay, because I have to use restraint every week on here, because ain't nobody come on here to hear me preach. Some people probably would like to hear me, but I don't come here to decide the restraint. But I can tell, man, there's just so much knowledge and that is in you that I want to personally extend the invitation to you to come back. Okay.
No problem.
We kind of, you know, we I know this was just the surface. I know, because I can see when you do, when your mouth do like this, when you smile, and y'all watch up, and I'm finna tell on James. When you got other stuff you want to say, but you know you can't sound them, you smile, you do, your mouth do this. James got some more to say, y'all. He got some more to tell. He got some more to tell, and we want to give him time to do that. So I am we are extending the invitation for you to come back. Okay?
Absolutely. And listen, if y'all want him to come back, I need a money sign or something. Pick one of them money emojis and put it in the comments, okay?
And do it whenever you watch this broadcast. You just know when you do it, it's gonna show up, so we'll see it.
We'll
be able to see if you want that knowledge and got that itch.
And listen, some of y'all got friends and family that's in the game and killing it in real estate and investment and won't tell you nothing.
This is true.
Don't even sweat it. Don't worry about it. James gonna give you the scoop because that's what he do. Okay.
Yeah, it's enough real estate for everyone. There is no competition.
I am loving
Say that one more time because I keep telling them that. Say it again.
There is zero competition when it comes to real estate.
Come on.
Y'all heard that? Let that sink in.
Come on. Sir James, we do thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to hang on for a little bit. We're going to talk to you for a little bit in the green room.
All right.
Before we actually let you go. But we thank you so much for being here with us on the show tonight. Arletha, this was awesome.
Man, this whole day. Listen. This was just the icing on the cake.
Man. Again, we will not let the show go out without thanking you guys so much for everything that you do. We thanking you for the likes. We thank you for sharing the broadcast. We're going to ask you to continue to subscribe. We're still trying to build up over there on YouTube.
Yeah, hold on. I got to say this. We appreciate y'all saying congratulations in the comments. I need y'all to
go like a thing.
Share it.
Share a thing.
Go and subscribe.
Subscribe to the thing.
If you scan the barcode, you don't even gotta type nothing. You click the Facebook and follow. You click Instagram. I made it easy. All you gotta do is push a button. I know y'all mean well, but it ain't really helping us. Okay. So please don't just type congratulations or something, because I don't even know what y'all congratulating us for. We on 54th episode. I need y'all to take action, because in order for us to monetize, we got to have a certain amount of followers and subscribers. In order for us to do certain things and to be considered what these platforms consider successful, we got to have a certain amount of comments and activity. So don't just be cracking up over there at your house and talking to the screen. Help us get 1,000 comments. You ain't buying nothing. Everything you got today was free. So help a sister and brother out.
Especially on this. There's so much negativity out there on social media. And we know people, they say bad publicity is good publicity or whatever. I guess when it comes down to making money, and people are making a lot of money. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to spread knowledge. We're trying to help people. Okay, we're trying to help each other, help the community to grow and get something.
And on James' website, y'all go follow. Don't just go over there and get your free consultation and your free ebook. Go follow his social media stuff too.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know what I think we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to go ahead and get on Instagram, because if I post a picture of you, I get so many interactions about the picture. And I say that's all it seemed to me.
Yeah, you post a picture, they like it, but if you post something about your business or something and they skim right past,
y'all quit doing that now. Go on and do what y'all supposed to do. If you love us, if you love us like you say you do,
right?
Go ahead and do
love us in public. Like, come on.
Do that part, and we will greatly appreciate it. Matter of fact, we appreciate it.
Okay, we vented a little bit. Because I'd be like, why do they keep typing congratulations?
Figure it out. We want you to know that growth doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's just about seeing opportunities where others don't. Success is a journey, not a destination. So in the meantime, keep moving, keep learning, keep improving. And until next week, remember
to mind your business.
We will see you guys next week.
Tell somebody, mind your business. Look at somebody and say, mind your business.